Somewhere right now, a Dollar Tree shelf that was fully stocked yesterday is completely empty. Not because of a shortage, not because of a sale, because word got out. Today we're covering 17 items that keep disappearing off shelves across the country, some of them restocked and gone again within 72 hours. Employees have started keeping a few under the counter for regulars, and once you see why, you'll understand exactly what the fuss is about. What's interesting is that none of these are seasonal decorations or limited-run novelty products. They're everyday essentials, the kind of thing you'd normally grab without thinking twice, which is exactly why the demand catches stores off guard. Some locations have started limiting how many a single customer can buy at once, just to keep a few on the shelf for the next person walking in. If you're new here, consider subscribing, and if you've ever stood in a Dollar Tree aisle wondering why a shelf tag says "in stock," but the shelf says otherwise, you're going to want to stay for number 1. Let's get into it. Before we get into the list, here's what makes it different from a typical haul video. Every item here is something with a clear price comparison against a name brand retailer, a specific reason it holds up despite the low price, and at least one honest downside, because a list that only praises things isn't useful to anyone trying to make a real decision. With that out of the way, let's start with number 1. At Dollar Tree, these reusable insulated bags run $1.25. The same style bag at Walmart runs close to $7, which puts the Dollar Tree version at roughly 5.5 times cheaper. What makes this one worth grabbing isn't just the price, it's the foil-lined interior, which actually holds cold or warm temperatures for 2 to 3 hours, enough for a school lunch or a short grocery run. Many people report using these for keeping insulin cool during errands, for packing a toddler's lunch without condensation soaking through, or for elderly parents who need medication kept at a stable temperature between doctor visits. The honest downside is the zipper seal isn't as sturdy as a name brand cooler bag, so it's not meant for all-day beach trips. A simple bonus tip: fold a paper towel inside before adding ice packs, and it'll absorb condensation so nothing gets soggy. Employees at several locations say these get restocked twice a week during the school year and still sell out before the weekend, which tells you how many households are relying on them for the same reason. Once you've got your lunches sorted, the next item solves a problem almost every household deals with weekly: laundry. This one keeps vanishing from shelves in a way that surprises even employees. At Dollar Tree, it's $1.25 for a full spray bottle. The name brand version at Target sits around $8, making this nearly 6.5 times more expensive there. The formula is a simple water-based mix with a light fabric relaxant, and customers often notice it works just as well on cotton and linen blends as the premium versions. The emotional pull here is real. It's the item busy parents grab before school photo day, or before a job interview, when there's no time to pull out the iron. The caveat worth mentioning: it does very little on heavier fabrics like denim or wool, so don't expect miracles on stiff material. A bonus tip that employees mention often: spray it on collars and pockets first, since those wrinkle-set areas take the longest to relax. Customers often notice the scent is much lighter than the department store version too, which matters for anyone sensitive to strong fragrances in enclosed spaces, like a car or a small closet. Speaking of quick fixes for looking put together, our next item is one people specifically ask staff to restock by name. Dollar Tree's reading glasses sell for $1.25 per pair, while a pharmacy like CVS often prices a comparable strength pair between $12 and $15, close to 10 times more at the higher end. What makes them worth the hype isn't just the price, it's that Dollar Tree carries a wide range of magnification strengths, from 1.25 up to 3.00, so people can actually test what works for them without committing serious money. Many people report buying 3 or 4 pairs at once just so there's a pair in the kitchen, one in the car, and one by the bed, something that would cost a fortune at full retail price. Employees say this is one of the first things they check inventory on each morning. The honest downside is the frames are lightweight plastic, so they're not built for someone who sits on their glasses often. A useful bonus tip: buy a spare pair specifically to leave in the glove compartment for reading directions or menus on the go. Many shoppers also mention keeping a pair in a purse or work bag, since misplacing a cheap pair costs far less stress than misplacing an expensive one. Next up is something that solves a problem almost nobody thinks to plan for until it's urgent. These braided charging cables sell for $1.25 each, while a comparable cable from Amazon in the same braided nylon style runs around $9, putting the Dollar Tree version at over 7 times cheaper. What earns them repeat customers is the reinforced connector point, which tends to survive far longer than the thin white cables that come standard with most phones. Many people report keeping 2 or 3 in the house, specifically because they double as backups when a main cable frays, which happens to almost everyone eventually. The real-life use case that comes up constantly is families with teenagers. Having a spare cable in every room means fewer arguments over who took whose charger. The honest caveat is that charging speed is standard, not fast charge, so if your phone supports rapid charging, this cable won't take advantage of that. A bonus tip: label each cable with a small sticker by room so nobody borrows one permanently. Employees say these are restocked almost daily at busier locations, and shoppers who spot a fresh box tend to grab several at once rather than risk coming back empty-handed, which is exactly why the shelf rarely stays full for long. Once your phone's covered, the next item is one caregivers specifically look for. At $1.25, these flexible gel ice packs are priced well below the Walmart version of a similar size, which runs about $6, nearly 5 times more there. Customers often notice these stay cold longer than expected because the gel inside is a denser formula than the thin ones bundled with cheap lunchboxes. The emotional use case here is significant. Many people buy these specifically for elderly parents managing joint pain, for kids after a fall at the playground, or for athletes icing a knee after practice. It's a small, inexpensive item that shows up in a lot of first aid drawers for exactly that reason. The one downside worth noting is that the smaller size means shorter cold retention compared to a larger commercial ice pack, so it's better for quick relief than an all-day injury. A bonus tip: keep 2 in the freezer at all times, so one is always ready while the other is in use. Many households also keep a couple in the car during hot months, both for quick relief on a strain and for keeping perishable groceries cool on a longer drive home. Next on the list is something that quietly solves a problem in nearly every home with pets. A roll of 60 pet waste bags costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree, compared to roughly $6 for a similar count at Petco, making the Dollar Tree version close to 5 times cheaper. What keeps these flying off shelves is the thickness of the bag itself. Many people report it holds up noticeably better than expected for the price, without tearing on the first pull. The emotional angle is simple. Dog owners go through these constantly, and stocking up here instead of a pet specialty store saves real money over a year. Employees say pet owners often buy 5 or 6 rolls at a time when they see them in stock, which is part of why they disappear fast. The honest downside is the box packaging can get crushed if shelved incorrectly, so check the roll before buying. A useful bonus tip: keep 1 roll in the car, 1 by the leash hook, and 1 in a jacket pocket, so you're never caught without one. Multi-dog households in particular say buying in bulk here, rather than a specialty pet store, is one of the easiest ongoing savings on this entire list, since this is an item every dog owner needs on a recurring basis regardless of income. From pets, we move to something that saves a different kind of morning stress: breakfast. A pack of instant oatmeal packets runs $1.25 here, while the same well-known brand at a regular grocery store often costs closer to $4 for a similar count, putting it at more than 3 times the price elsewhere. What makes this one worth the trip is that Dollar Tree regularly carries name-brand oatmeal, not a generic substitute, which surprises a lot of first-time shoppers. Many families use this for hectic school mornings, and older adults living alone often rely on these because they're easy to prepare without much strength or standing time. The one caveat is variety can be limited depending on the store, so if you have a favorite flavor, it's smart to grab extra when you see it. A bonus tip: pair the packet with hot water from a coffee maker instead of a stove, which saves time on rushed mornings. Many people report buying a box every week specifically because it removes one more decision from an already busy morning routine. Speaking of quick mornings, the next item is one office workers specifically stock up on. These single-serve creamer cups sell for $1.25 for a pack, compared to roughly $5 for a similar count at a convenience store, making it about 4 times cheaper here. Customers often notice these taste closer to the full-size version than expected, which is part of why office break rooms keep a box on hand. The real-life use case is about convenience and control. No dishes, no spoiled milk left in a shared fridge, and portion control for people managing sugar or dietary needs. The honest downside is the cups use a thinner plastic seal, so a firm squeeze works better than trying to peel it slowly. A bonus tip: keep a few in a car cup holder for road trip coffee stops where creamer options are limited. Office managers specifically mention buying these in bulk because the individual portions cut down on waste compared to a shared carton that often goes bad before it's finished. Now let's talk about something almost every renter or new homeowner ends up needing within the first month. A pack of adhesive wall hooks costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree, while the name brand version at Home Depot runs close to $7 for a similar pack, making it about 5.5 times more expensive there. What keeps these popular is the hold strength for the price. Many people report these support light coats, keys, and even small kitchen utensils without falling. The emotional appeal is strongest with renters who can't drill holes in walls and with anyone who's had to move recently and wants damage-free solutions. Employees say these get bought in bulk right before move-in season each year. The honest downside is that in humid rooms like bathrooms, the adhesive can lose grip faster than in a dry hallway. A bonus tip: warm the adhesive strip slightly with a hairdryer before applying for a stronger initial bond. College students and apartment renters in particular say these have become a first-week essential, right alongside cleaning supplies and basic kitchen items, and several dorm move-in checklists shared online now list them by name. After organizing your walls, the next item helps organize something far messier: cables and cords. These clip-style cord organizers are $1.25 for a set, while a similar set on Amazon runs around $6, making the Dollar Tree set close to 5 times cheaper. What makes this one worth grabbing is the adhesive backing holds surprisingly well onto desks and nightstands, keeping cords from sliding into that permanent tangle behind furniture. Many people use these specifically for home offices, where multiple charging cables tend to pile up, or for parents trying to keep a child's tablet charger from disappearing under a bed. The caveat here is the clips are sized for thinner cables, so a thick gaming cord might not click in securely. A bonus tip: use one clip per cable rather than clustering several together, since that's what keeps them from popping loose over time. Remote workers report that this small change alone cuts down on the daily frustration of hunting for the right cord before a call. Next, we're covering something that solves a specific seasonal headache for anyone with outdoor space. A pair of garden gloves costs $1.25 here, compared to about $6 at Home Depot for a similar grip-coated pair, making it close to 5 times more expensive there. Customers often notice the rubberized palm coating holds up through a full season of yard work without cracking, which is more than expected at this price point. The real-life use case skews toward retirees and hobby gardeners who go through gloves quickly and don't want to spend a lot replacing them every few months. The honest downside is sizing tends to run one size, so if you have larger or smaller hands, fit might be loose. A bonus tip: buy 2 pairs, one for dirty yard work and one kept clean specifically for handling delicate plants or seedlings. Many people report going through several pairs a season anyway, so keeping the cost low here matters more than it would for a tool used only occasionally. From the yard, let's move indoors to a small fix that quietly saves people a lot of frustration. Furniture sliders sell for $1.25 per pack at Dollar Tree, while a similar pack at Walmart runs around $5, making it roughly 4 times cheaper here. What makes these worth grabbing is the felt and plastic combination, which employees say holds up through repeated furniture moves better than expected. Many people report using these specifically when helping elderly parents rearrange furniture safely, since sliding heavy pieces instead of lifting them reduces injury risk significantly. It's a small item with a real safety angle that a lot of shoppers don't consider until someone mentions it. The one downside is that on thick carpet, the sliders are less effective, and furniture may still require some lifting to get moving. A bonus tip: press firmly and rock the furniture slightly to seat the slider properly before pushing. Caregivers in particular say this is one of the easiest ways to help an aging parent rearrange a room without calling in outside help or risking a fall. Next, we're looking at something that keeps surprising people with how well it performs for the price. A pack of battery-powered LED tea lights costs $1.25 at Dollar Tree, while a similar flame effect pack at Target runs about $6, making it close to 5 times more expensive elsewhere. Customers often notice the flicker effect looks more realistic than expected for the price, which is why these show up constantly at weddings, birthday parties, and holiday tables. The emotional use case is strongest around family gatherings and memorial displays, where a real flame isn't practical, but the warmth of candlelight still matters. Employees say these sell out fastest right before major holidays for exactly that reason. The honest downside is, battery life is decent, but not exceptional, so they're better for occasional use than nightly use. A bonus tip: keep a small bag of spare batteries with the tea lights, so they're always ready for last-minute setups. Many people buy a large stock right before the holiday season, specifically because they know table centerpieces and window displays will need several at once, and running out mid-setup on a busy evening is a frustration nobody wants. Next up is an item that solves a very specific kitchen frustration. These stretchable silicone lids run $1.25 for a set, compared to roughly $10 for a similar set on Amazon, making the Dollar Tree version around 8 times cheaper. What makes them worth grabbing is that they stretch over bowls of different sizes and actually seal well enough to keep produce fresh for days rather than hours. Many people report replacing plastic wrap entirely once they try these, since they're reusable and cut down on waste. The real-life use case ties closely to families trying to reduce grocery spending by making leftovers last longer instead of tossing them. The honest downside is very large bowls can stretch the silicone past its ideal seal point, so they work best on small to medium containers. A bonus tip: wash and dry them fully before storing to avoid any lingering odor absorption. Many people mention keeping a full set in a kitchen drawer, specifically because they nest flat, unlike bulky plastic lids that take up cabinet space. From the kitchen, let's move to something that's become a genuine favorite among parents. A coloring or activity book runs $1.25 at Dollar Tree, while a similar licensed character book at Walmart runs around $5, making it roughly 4 times more expensive there. What keeps parents coming back is that Dollar Tree regularly rotates in books tied to popular characters kids recognize immediately, not generic filler content. The emotional use case is obvious. Road trips, waiting rooms, and rainy afternoons all become easier with a stack of these on hand. Many people report buying 5 or 6 at once, specifically to keep a rotating supply, so a bored child always has something fresh. The honest caveat is, paper quality is thinner than a bookstore version, so heavy markers can bleed through the page. A bonus tip: slide a spare piece of cardboard behind the page being colored to protect the page underneath. Parents specifically mention keeping a few in the car at all times, since a forgotten activity book has saved more than one long wait at a doctor's office. Next, we're covering an item that pet owners and plant owners both seem to love equally. A basic spray bottle costs $1.25 here, while a similar bottle at a hardware store runs around $4, making it roughly 3 times more expensive elsewhere. What makes this item worth the trip is the adjustable nozzle, which switches cleanly between mist and stream without clogging as fast as expected. Customers often notice these hold up well for DIY cleaning solutions, plant misting, and even light pet grooming sprays. The real-life use case ties to anyone trying to save money by mixing their own cleaning solutions instead of buying pre-made bottles every month. The honest downside is the plastic is thin enough that dropping it on a hard floor can crack the nozzle mechanism. A bonus tip: label each bottle clearly if you're mixing multiple solutions, since unlabeled spray bottles are an easy mix-up in a busy household. Many people report buying several at once specifically to keep one dedicated to each task, since switching a single bottle between chemicals and plant water isn't something you want to do by accident. Now for our final item, we're covering something that ties back to nearly every other item on this list. Small storage bins with snap-on lids cost $1.25 each, while a comparable size bin at Target runs around $6, making it close to 5 times more expensive there. What makes these genuinely useful is the tight-fitting lid, which keeps dust and moisture out far better than expected from a dollar store bin. Many people report using these to organize everything else on this list: cables, medications, sewing supplies, or kids' craft materials, which is part of why they sell out so quickly after a haul video goes up. The honest downside is stacking too many at once can cause the lower bins to warp slightly underweight over time. A bonus tip: label the short end of each bin rather than the top, so you can identify contents even when they're stacked. Many people report buying an entire set at once, specifically because mismatched containers are one of the most common sources of clutter in a home, and a uniform set solves that in one trip rather than accumulating odd sizes over years. And that brings us to the last one on today's list. So that's all 17. From insulated bags and reading glasses to storage bins that tie the whole system together. The theme running through every single item today is the same. Small, unglamorous products that quietly solve a real problem, priced low enough that trying them out costs almost nothing. None of these needed a viral moment or a celebrity endorsement to earn their place on this list. They earned it the old-fashioned way, one repeat customer at a time, which is exactly why stores keep struggling to keep them on the shelf. Personally, I think the reusable ice packs and the silicone lids are the two most underrated items on this entire list, simply because they replace things people are already spending money on every month without thinking about it. It's easy to get excited about a big, flashy find, but the items that actually change your monthly spending are usually the boring ones nobody posts about. One spending trap worth mentioning before you go. It's easy to walk in for one of these 17 items and walk out with $40 of things you didn't plan for. Dollar stores are designed with impulse buys near the checkout for exactly that reason, so a quick mental list before you walk in can save you more than the items themselves. A lot of shoppers say the safest approach is picking 2 or 3 from today's list, buying only those, and skipping the rest of the store entirely on that trip. It sounds simple, but it's one of the few tricks that actually works, because the moment you start browsing without a plan, the whole layout of the store is working against your budget. If this list helped you find something worth grabbing, consider hitting like and subscribing so you don't miss the next haul before it disappears. And in the comments, let me know, which of these 17 have you already noticed selling out at your local store, and which one surprised you the most? I read every comment, and it genuinely shapes what we cover next. If you know someone who's always hunting for a good deal, send this their way before these items disappear again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.